Sports have gripped humanity since the Bronze Age. From gladiators to football, chariots to race cars, people just love a good competition. Whether you're there for the action, a team, or even a player, most people have a reason to watch sports. Today, we preview some of the spring sports here at the high school and in our community, as well as sending off some winter sports as their season comes to a close. Welcome to Overtime. I'm your host, Kyle Gutierrez. Warwick has struggled the past couple years on the baseball diamond, but this period of futility may be finally coming to an end. The Cats have dominated their first two games by winning a combined 30 runs, and the team appears ready to finally compete for a section title again.
As the Warwick Wildcats take to the diamond to start their 2022 campaign, Coach Eric Rosa is looking forward to a successful season. Despite going just 7-9 last year, and losing 9 players to graduation, the belief around the team is that the youth and talent of the roster will shine through and lead the Cats to their first section title in years.
You know what, we did lose a lot of players. We lost, our key center fielder, Logan Hurd. We had a couple other good players for us that we graduated. But one thing about our team last year is we had a lot of talent. We were just very young and inexperienced. So, for example, we had, because of the COVID year that we lost, we had 0 players on our team last year with varsity experience. And I think we only had 5 players on our team that even had JV experience. So this year, all that talent now is older and experienced and ready to roll.
This sentiment is echoed by senior captain and D1 commit Justin Hurd.
Yeah, so we lost a few last year, including my brother Logan. So that's a big role to fill, as he was the captain as well. So I got to fill that with his leadership and all that. And then we had a young team last year, so I think we should be able to step in pretty well.
A key theme on this team seems to be the emergence of new stars. Justin went on to tell us about some of the guys that he's excited about this year.
We got Jackson Mitchell, pitcher. He's committed to Binghamton. He's looking solid this year. Reno Spagnoli, pitcher this year. He's killing it. And then we also got Chase Fogg and Ryan McLaughlin, 2 infielders for us that should have solid years for us.
In a relatively rare move, Warwick has also decided to keep a freshman on the squad in Michael Molinelli. He figures to be a key infielder on the team this year, and for years to come, but he has not allowed any of this to get to his head.
I hope to just help the team win, be a team player. When they need me, I'll hope to fill the spots that I have and be there for my teammates.
Warwick does face a very tough schedule with key games against Kingston, Pine Bush, and Valley Central. But Coach Rosa believes that through the mindsets of guys like Michael, this team can go far.
I think we need to stay healthy, and I think we need to buy in 100% and believe in each other, come together as one, be close with each other, have each other's backs, and we got to have a lot of heart.
Motivation certainly will not be a problem. Ask any player what the goal for the year is, and the answer will always be the same.
It's all about the team getting in sections, winning sections.
Win sections, obviously.
It's definitely to win a section chip. I believe we can do that, and I really think that we can even go beyond winning a section and maybe compete for a state title.
Does it finally come together for Rosa's Cats in year 3? Some skeptics still remain, but we may just be witnessing the rise of Section 9's next great dynasty.
Warwick on 3, 1, 2, 3. Warwick!
America's pastime seems to have some great players this year, so maybe grab some peanuts and some Cracker Jacks to watch them swing for the fences. Warwick doesn't just have some great male athletes, though, as our Lady Cats prepare under a coach who wants to make history.
Spring has sprung, and naturally, so is spring sports. Girls varsity lacrosse is just one of the many sports kicking off in the warmer seasons. Though girls lacrosse is annual, something about this team is different this time. Not the game, but the players. This time, for the first time, our girls varsity lacrosse team has 2 junior captains, Kiara Larney and Skylar Blanton.
I think being selected as a captain this year as a junior is a huge honor for me. Not only was I selected by my teammates, but also to be able to lead these people as a junior. I feel like I relate to them, and I'm happy to be a leader this year for them and support them in any way I can.
This is my 4th year on varsity. I feel like one of the things we need to elaborate on this year is kind of like encouraging everyone to not get down on ourselves, especially coming from a big loss last year, and to support everyone from our team. I'm really happy to be captain this year with Kira and Jill, and I feel like we're going to have a really fun next season. Hopefully we're going to win sections this year.
For both juniors to be captain is very impressive, and overall, so is this team's track record. For the last 13 seasons, the girls lacrosse team has made sectional finals and won sectional championships from 2017 to 2019, with their team record being 5-3 last season. The junior captains have a familiar face to help them lead the way. Senior captain Jillian Ziegler.
With us being a younger team this year, I definitely think it's important for the younger girls to have people to look up to, especially with them being as young as they are. And I think that this season's going to be really important, and we have to have people to step up after coming off such a hard loss last season.
There's no I team, and this team couldn't be possible without their coaches. Assistant coach Robert Corder has been coaching the team for 4 years, and it's only the beginning.
I would say the biggest triumph here was my first year in program, section title game against Minnesink. We were down 11-3 with 21 minutes left. Had one of the biggest comebacks in Section 9 history. We won with 5 seconds left in the game, 16-15. Incredible moment. Super happy for the kids.
The coach that pulls his team together is Coach Dennis Connor, who has been coaching lacrosse for over 14 years and is very committed for the years to come.
I think we've improved as far as mental toughness. We had a bad loss last year in the section semifinals. I think the girls are very motivated to make it back to states, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do on the field. I think they're a very talented bunch of young ladies.
Sure, this will be a new season, but the girls' varsity lacrosse team has an impressive history, and they look up to building up their legacy, and it's only up from here. After all, they say lax to the max.
Lacrosse is the oldest organized sport in North America, and its legacy continues on at Warwick through not only our great girls team, but our boys team as well.
Last year's boys lacrosse team finished the season very strong, but with many new team members this year, they're focused on maintaining last year's success. The Wildcats scored the title of Section 9 champions at the end of last season. The team was senior heavy, with 17 players graduating last year. They're led by Coach Thomas Kelly, who is in his 2nd year as the lacrosse head coach and has high hopes for the upcoming season.
This year, within section, we always want to compete. Coming off of last year, we definitely want to hopefully win the whole thing. We definitely set high expectations for ourselves. We think we have, a good returning roster and a lot of young guys coming in too that could help us get there. Out of section, just compete, battle, get a couple wins, and just learn from it.
The Wildcats have been making sure that the loss of seniors will not interfere with this year's win. They had their underclassmen working very hard to guarantee it.
We definitely lose a couple key players. I think we return a lot of guys too, guys like Dan Thorson, Max Kruger, Nick DeMarco. These are all great players. And then our underclassmen have all proven themselves as well, so we're definitely excited for them. Less graduation and more injuries right now is kind of hurting us. We had a couple guys who are kind of banged up, so we're looking forward to getting them back.
We definitely lost a lot of key players, so we got a lot of younger or underclassmen to step in and fill some big shoes.
Yeah, we definitely lost a bunch of key players, but we have a bunch of people stepping up and some players out here that are going to make a name for themselves.
The team's determined to form a streak by winning this year's section championship as well. Their priority this season has been defense.
I think our strengths are definitely our defense. Our offense is pretty solid too.
Strengths is definitely defense. We have one of the best defenses in the section, and I think people are going to sleep on our offense. We're going to be a great team this year.
For the Warwick varsity lacrosse team, while last year's championship was great, this year's goal is to create a legacy of success.
Some say the best offense is a good defense. Let's hope that strategy holds true for the boys lacrosse team this season. Coming up next, we have a sport that is quickly catching on in Warwick, as well as some encouragement from our favorite athletic director, right after this break.
Welcome to New Hearts, the home source. Here at our store, you'll find a variety of items featuring children's toys, jewelry, kitchen tools, and everything in between. Found something that's really caught your eye? Come speak with one of our staff members. They're passionate about their jobs, and you'll find they're always willing to help.
I love working with everybody. They're super friendly, super knowledgeable of what's going on, and they always have a plan, and it's always something creative and new.
One of the things we take pride in is our window displays, where we showcase unique merchandise you can find at our store. And the best part about these displays is that they're constantly changing throughout the year. So stop by often to see and enjoy our one-of-a-kind window dressings.
You know, over the years, the store has developed and redefined itself over and over. And that's what's always been exciting about having a business in a community like Warwick. You know, it's always changing, there's always something new. It's an exciting place to live, but it's also really great to have a business here.
Newhart's has been run by Michael Newhart and his two sisters for over 35 years and counting. So please come support our local business. We'd love to have your patronage. For more information, you can call Newhart's at 845-986-4544 or email us at info@newharts.com. Newhart's, the home source.
Welcome back to Overtime. America loves football. We love it so much that we even rebranded that other sport to soccer and slapped our country name in front of the name. American football has a close cousin, though, that keeps all the tackling but takes away the protection.
If you can walk, you can run. Next 5, let's go!
Rugby is a growing sport in America, with teams at the high school level popping up around the country and colleges investing more time and money into the sport. Here in Warwick, our very own club, Highlander Rugby, has been practicing at Intrepid Fitness in preparation for the spring season. Rugby attracts all sorts of players, such as Trevor Stevens and Michael O'Neill.
I have been playing rugby for like a month. This kid, Rory O'Connor, he was just like nagging me every day. He was like, you gotta join, you gotta join, you gotta join. And then finally I just gave in.
You during lunch, you were like, oh, you want to practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays? I don't know, you just said rugby, and that sounded fun to me.
It's pretty fun. It's basically football, except there's not as much stoppages, so.
It's like football, but better. It's just a more active version of football.
The more unique aspects of the game are why Coach Brad Davidson thinks rugby is a growing sport in America.
There's a couple things that make it different from other sports, but the part I like best is how you spend 80 minutes, or if it's sevens, you spend 20 minutes beating up on each other and just really going at it. You know, no pads, like face to face. Everybody's tackling, everybody's running, you get muddy, you get angry. And when you're done, you shake hands and you actually have a meal together. I think that's super civilized. It's a purer sport than football in some ways. I love football, but it's a flow game. So it's basically tackle soccer. So all you need is a ball, a couple of guys, and a field, and you can start playing some version of rugby. And you get to tackle, and it's a lot of fun.
Michael O'Neill has high hopes for the team this year.
I guess we're trying to win Rugby New Jersey. Hopefully we beat CBA. I want to beat CBA pretty badly.
Rugby has become an attractive sport for many athletes across the United States for the culture it brews, the speed of the game, and the people who play it. For WVTV, I'm Rory O'Connor.
Rugby is just one of the many sports that you could join this spring season. Whether you've been going hard in gym since middle school, if your sports career peaked at kindergarten kickball, there are spaces in sport for everyone to enjoy. This spring could be your time, so know your options as Theodore Fernandez helps break down the Warwick Spring sports season.
With spring sports starting in just a few weeks, it's nice to be prepared for the weather and new events that come along with the season. Students were limited to a few public areas last year due to social distancing protocols, but here at Warwick Valley High School, the spring sports season is happening very soon. All sports are an excitement here, but spring sports get athletes pumped up, and the weather definitely has to do with that. Coach Tirico, the AD here at the high school, shared his enthusiasm on the upcoming season.
I love the transition from the winter season to the spring season. We've had a great winter. Our basketball teams did super. Our track teams were outstanding. Our swim team, everybody was great. And now we are getting ready for a big season. We got a lot of stuff going on in the spring, and we are going to be excellent in it. So the snow is melting, and the Wildcats are getting ready to roll.
Sports are less restricted now that the mask mandate has been lifted, and all spring sports are typically outside. All the coaches and players appear to be more excited than ever for this upcoming season. If you're not a fan of baseball, there's other sports to check out, like tennis, lacrosse, and track. All in all, you'll definitely find a sport to watch and learn about. If you're interested in going to see a sports game coming up, the spring sports season starts the week of March 21st with a girls' varsity lacrosse scrimmage at Maple Grange Park.
There are plenty of ways to engage with sports here at Warwick. You could join a team or even just cheer your friends on from the stands. Up next, we still have some sports that are wrapping up and deserve a solid farewell before the ice melts. More on that right after this break.
Have you ever wanted to go somewhere with a fantastic, welcoming atmosphere and a must-visit in Warwick? Halligan's Public House is the best place for you and the whole family. At Halligan's, the list of expectations are set since they have high-quality food and drinks. Some of the highlights include the country burger, the French onion soup, as well as plenty more mouth-watering dishes.
The tacos here are the most amazing tacos ever.
You can't have high-quality food without an amazing staff. The staff works hard to please the customers, and trust me, they do an excellent job at it, making high-quality drinks.
I like a double Jameson with ginger ale.
With the stellar service and top-notch food, it is complete with a welcoming, family-friendly atmosphere. But on Friday nights after dark, the doors are open for great music and drinks for adults. Halligan's Public House, your home away from home, located at 22 West Street in Warwick, New York.
Welcome back to Overtime. One of sport's biggest draws is the intense action of seeing athletes go head-to-head. Some sports are known for their intensity, with brutal tackles being common with sports, on the field and off it.
Hockey, a sport that has grabbed the attention of fans worldwide, even making it into the Olympics. It's certainly come far from its humble beginnings in English public school, and now the ice has seen many legendary teams from the professional, college, high school, and even younger levels. It's been the battleground for legendary rivalries, but with football typically dominating the screen in early winter, why tune into the ring?
All right, what drew me to the sport was the intensity of the game, because I used to wrestle, so it brought back memories of me, of wrestling when they would be duking it out on the field or hitting each other with the pucks on the sideline, because that's a whole part of the game. That's not just an afterthought, that's a whole part. They train for that.
Hockey seems to be an amalgamation of the dynamics of soccer with the brawls of baseball and the speed of basketball. It's easy to see how it could be overwhelming, but once you come to understand the sport, it honestly doesn't get much easier. So let's start at the beginning. Every game starts with a face-off, which happens right in that center circle. The puck is dropped between one player from each team, and only they can be in the center circle during the face-off. The puck falls, and hockey starts. We got 5 players from each team all racing around, and one staying behind to center their goal. This goes on for 3 periods that last 20 minutes each. The clock stops whenever the puck isn't in play.
The intensity of the start-off is one of the main points of hockey and what is the starting position. So as the referee drops the puck, you need to be able to get that puck to your teammates behind you as fast as possible without letting the other team get it. So that is basically the start-off of the game.
Well, whenever there's a penalty, there's always a face-off, like icing, hooking,
Positions are a whole different beast, but there's only 6 players in each team, and they all want the puck, so who needs more information than that? Moving on to penalties, and one of the biggest would be icing. From what I've read, it's a rule that was put in so the game could be more exciting. Baseball could really learn something from that. Basically, if the puck gets hit all the way past the low red line near the goal, it's not valid. The team who committed this crime will be penalized for it. The punishment? A face-off on the offending team's end, their own end being between the blue line and their goal. The face-off would take place in one of the circles in that end. Finally, there's one less major penalty to cover. There are way too many minor ones. Offsides. This one's pretty simple. The attacking team cannot cross the defending team's blue zone until the puck does. Their stick can cross as long as their skate stays in the middle zone. And if that gets violated, it's the same penalty as icing. That's really most of the basics. Hopefully it's not as scary now. There are so many leagues that you can watch hockey from, and so many teams. And I have complete trust in your ability to find those channels and streaming services. I hope you enjoyed this beginner guide with the beginner. And this is Matt Doherty with WBTV, signing off.
Hockey is easily one of the most famous winter sports, but some others have been growing in popularity. These sports are seen by some as mere hobbies, but the skills required are definitely worthy of recognition. These athletes hardly deserve a cold shoulder.
On February 10th, 2022, Shaun White competed in his 5th and final Winter Olympics, where he placed 4th in the halfpipe. Perhaps his final run can be seen as a failure, but his impact on the sport of snowboarding from the 2006 Olympics to now can neither be forgotten nor understated. Local snowboarder Daniel Hayden has a particular appreciation for this snowboarding legend.
I really remember back in 2018 when Shaun White won the gold, bringing it home for USA. Shaun White has really inspired me a lot. You know, really the tricks and everything he can pull off just inspires me to want to do it at my home community here at Mount Creek. Definitely a Tony Hawk of snowboarding.
16 years and 3 gold medals later, the Flying Tomato continues to inspire snowboarders everywhere. From that first double McTwist 1260 in Vancouver 2010 to every trick a snowboarder does from now on, Shaun White will be remembered as the greatest to ever hit the halfpipe.
Snowboarders love a good mountain, but the ones near Warwick may not be intense enough. So we've sent a reporter out to one of those most famous and dangerous mountains in the world. Let's see how he's doing.
Have you ever been skiing on mountains like Killington or Whiteface and thought those were big? Wait until you hear about Mount Everest. I bet you didn't think it was possible, but thanks to Abominable Snowman Enterprise, they were able to make sure Mount Everest was a fully skiable mountain at more than 29,000 feet up, with temperatures reaching -80 degrees and an 80% chance of deadly avalanches, 200-mile-per-hour winds, hidden crevices, and a very high chance of getting lost. There isn't any other thrill like it. And on opening day, we got a glimpse of what the lifts to the top will look like. Let's hope there are seats in there, because that's going to be a very long 45 minutes. But the ride down will be worth every minute. This is Nico Carrillo from Travel News. I'm going to finish skiing the rest of this mountain. I'll see you next week when we talk about the opening of Atlantis.
Mount Everest certainly isn't for the faint of heart or the short of breath. That's all for Overtime today. I'm your host, Cal Gutierrez, and good luck to all of our Wildcats as we kick off the spring season.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
There it is. Keep going with it. Leo!
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.